You've probably read about Elon Musk becoming the first dollar trillionaire in the whole world. And that's trillionaire with a T. It's not billionaire, millionaire. It's trillionaire. So you've read that news and maybe you've seen one or two responses. Now, I'm quite concerned about a particular response I'm seeing from a number of individuals. Some of you may know and some may not know that Elon Musk is what some people would call an atheist. I think he prefers the term irreligious. Basically, what that means is that he doesn't believe in God. He's not practicing any of the religions. He's not a Christian, Jew, or maybe Muslim. His God, in one of his interviews, I believe he said that is science. He just believes in science. And so some people are painting this as a victory of atheism or irreligious views, and are saying that it negates God. The fact that he's been so blessed that he's become the first, or rather is set to become the first trillionaire in the world. And I've seen this from some people that their views are very influential, and I see a lot of young people like tilting towards their views, and like it's going to undermine faith. And that's why I'm doing this message. See, what a lot of people don't understand is that when you say you are a believer of Christ or you are a Jew, you've got to read scripture to understand what scripture says. Otherwise, you're not going to be building your house on a rock. And then when people come about with theories like this, it shakes you. So you got to read scripture by yourself so that you are very well grounded in scripture. Now, on the issue of Elon Musk, if you read scripture, if you read Ecclesiastes chapter 2, and then you begin from verse 26, Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and then verse 26. Now that verse says that to the man that pleases God, God gives wisdom, knowledge, and happiness. Now, some translations say God gives wisdom, knowledge, and joy. I prefer joy because joy is permanent. Happiness depends on happenings. Scripture wasn't written in English, wasn't written in any European language. It was written in Hebrew and Aramaic. The New Testament is written in Greek. So it says, to the man that pleases God, God gives wisdom, knowledge, and happiness, or sometimes joy. It depends on the translation you're reading. And then you read the next verse. It says, but to the sinner, he gives travail, the task of gathering wealth, so that he might hand it over to the man that pleases God. Now, again, I'm not too comfortable with that word sinner, although most translations will use that word. Some translations use the word unbeliever, because when you say sinner, we've all sinned and come short of the glory of God. But you see, let's read that verse again using the word unbeliever. It says, but to the unbeliever, he gives the task, he gives travail, the task of gathering wealth, that he might hand it over to the man that pleases God. Now, let me tell you about this. You see, a lot of you watching this might want to be millionaires, billionaires, and maybe even trillionaires in US dollars. I have met US dollar billionaires. I've met two of them on the same day, and subsequently I've met others that I was told later that they were billionaires, US dollar billionaires. It's not easy being a billionaire, even having being a multi-millionaire. It's not all that it is called out to be. Billionaires are very, 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 very stressed people. They're constantly watching the stock market to see what's happening. They're watching the futures exchange. They're wondering what's going to happen in the political arena when elections are close. It's a very stressful lifestyle, because just one movement of the stock exchange in the opposite direction can make you lose even like up to 60 billion. Can make you lose all your wealth. We've seen that before in the stock market crash in America. We've seen that, inflation, a lot of things happen. And so these people, they live very, very stressed lives. And God does not necessarily want that for you. It does not want that. It doesn't want your beard to prematurely go white like mine. He wants you to have a life of joy, as you see in Ecclesiastes 2:26. Joy, everlasting, coming out of your belly. And so you see what he says. He says that God allows these unbelievers to gather up wealth that they might heap up and give to you. Now, I'm going to give an example of myself. I remember in 2013, I was a pastor at a local church in a town called Abuja, which is in Nigeria. It's the capital of Nigeria. And then we needed to pay our rent. And it was quite a large amount of money, because if you know Abuja, rent in Abuja is very, very high. And then what happened is, like, a Muslim. Now, this is not even like I was a pastor, that makes me a follower of Christ, And this is a Muslim who doesn't believe in the things that I believed. He wrote me a check and gave me this money. Not, in fact, he gave me much more than the money I needed to pay the rent. So we were able to pay the rent and had money over which we used to buy instruments, to pay church staff, and then things like that. Now, imagine that. Think about that. You see, so God will cause people to make money because God is not a magician. When he wants to bless people, when he wants to bless people, money is not going to fall down from heaven. People have to work on earth to get this money. And then it is those people that God will put it in their hearts to come and give you money. Now, that's the reason why Elon Musk is about to become the first US dollar trillionaire. There are going to be people who need money at orphanages. There are going to be people who need money to help the homeless. There are going to be people who need money for drug sanctuaries, to help people who are on drugs to get better. Elon Musk is going to be giving them these monies, not because he wants to give them this money, but because God has put it in his heart to give them that money. You have to understand that the heart of a man doesn't even belong to the man, it belongs to God. So you read that in Jeremiah chapter 10 verse 23. It says that it does not belong to a man that is walking to direct his own footsteps. So please, if you are tempted to stop believing in God, or maybe your faith is undermined, listen to this. This should not undermine your faith. This should build your faith. My name is Renan Malkri. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Thank you.